Yeah, Coach, could you sum up working with the line and getting acclimated back to the pro game there?
Well, it's been good. It's a good group of young men. It's an intelligent group and they work hard. But we've got to we're still working through a lot of things. And getting back's fun though. Just coaching. Getting back to coaching the position I've always been with is a lot of fun to me in year 39 of this profession.
Just reflect on making that jump back after being the head guy in college and upsetting all the big schools and so forth.
Well, it's been a great adjustment. Like I said, when you've been in it as long as I have, it's great to get back on the field coaching again. I'm enjoying it. I had some different opportunities coming out, and this one looked like a great challenge. And I love challenges, and I think this is a great situation to be in.
What was your assessment of the line play last season? All 17 games.
Well, offensively, they moved the ball good with a lot of regularity, and they ran a very sophisticated scheme. I thought from a mental standpoint, it was a heck of a group. And right now, my main focus is just working on fundamentals.
How do you get the short yardages? They were highly publicized last year, and not picking up the short yard game.
I don't really know too much about that because I don't. One thing I learned about 15 years as head coach, I don't read the paper too much. So, I didn't spend a lot of time. I haven't spent a lot of time on the short yardage tape. I've been spending a lot of time on the protections and the other things. So I really can't address that.
When you have a pretty veteran group like this, how much do you try to deal with each player's technique? Or
well, that's what I told them when I got here. I didn't come here to split the atom. I came here to really work on fundamentals. And at this level, you have a chance to really tweak a person's game. It's like being a swing coach for a golfer. Like on pass protection. No, here you're dealing with 7 guys. In college you might be dealing with 15, 18. It's sort of a cookie cutter deal. Here you're trying to develop technique to help each one of your players get better. So that's what the great challenge is about pro football. Like when I was in Cleveland and Baltimore, you have the same guys over and over every day, so you have a lot of time to tweak their technique. Where in college, you're just trying to get ready for the next game, and you're trying to get 15, 16 guys to develop. That's the difference. Here you have a chance to really work on the fundamentals.
In terms of your approach in dealing with the players, being in college so long, do you have to kind of readjust in how you do, or treat them the same?
Well, I think what you are is you want to teach. You're always a teacher. That's what this profession's all about, is teaching. There's a lot less to deal with outside of football at this level, so it's really enjoyable. You're just coaching football, and you're just working one-on-one a lot more with individuals.
How much tweaking do you have to do with Sam Baker, who was hurt a little bit last year?
Well, he had some injuries, but I'll tell you what, he's got great athletic ability. I knew Sam out of high school and out of SC, playing against him and watching him, and I know the athletic abilities there. I'm excited about working with him.
Did you recruit him? Well,
we didn't have much of a chance. College is different than the pros. It's not a draft. My picking number was usually 7th round. So we didn't get many of those guys. We had to develop guys a lot more.
How much over the years have you seen the new voice? You've had staff changes yourself.
I had 38 different coaches during my time, and every one of them went on to big jobs. So I think a new voice is good. You've got to keep that voice fresh, though. You don't want to. You always want to have something fresh, and I think new voices are good. And that's why after 15 years they needed a new voice where I was at. It was time for a change. Even though we had great success, it's time for a change. But at this level, a new voice is good, and I think that as time goes on, as a coach, you got to stay up with it. You can't get methodical in what you do.
Were you blown away when you heard, I think it's 64 yards total screen play last year, total for a season?
Well, once again, I don't know too much about that. I know we're working. We're going to work on the screen game. We're working on everything right now. Right now this is sort of like the testing time. We're working on a lot of stuff. And then you find out what you can do. That's the fun of the game. You find out what you can do, what your players can do the best, and we got a lot of work to do in all areas just to find out where we are and where we're going.
When you come into a situation like this, what is the first thing that you try to assess when you look at the offensive line as a group?
Well, I know one thing that I was really impressed with more than anything else is they're highly intelligent, and I think that's super important. That's something that's hard to train. You know, they've got a great understanding of the game, and you know, my job is, like I said earlier, my job's not to create a new split the atom or anything. My job is just to get better at our techniques. I'm a very strong believer in fundamentals, and that's my main priority, is working on fundamentals.
How reinvigorated are you? You
I'm excited.
More about teaching.
Yeah, I love teaching. I love coaching. You know, a lot of people say, you know, Pat, well, what are you going to do now? You know, you're going to get into TV, you're going to do this, do this. I love to coach. I don't have a lot of hobbies. This is fun. I enjoy being out here, and I enjoy being around young men, and I enjoy coaching. So you got to stay on top of it. When it gets to the point where it's not fun for me anymore, I'm out of here. You know, I mean, I won't do it anymore. But I love what I do. It's my 39th season. I enjoy being on the field. That's my favorite time of the day.
What was your relationship with Thomas Dimitroff like from Cleveland?
Well, when I was at Cleveland, I was there in the early '90s with Coach Belichick, and Thomas's father was a scout there, and Thomas was working in the building at the time. So it goes way back to 1992. But I hadn't seen. You know, I called him as soon as he got the job there and just congratulated him a few years ago. But you know, there were a lot of people that I worked with back then that, you know, that's 15, 20 years ago.
Coach, could you talk about the rookies, Peter Combs and Lamar Hums, what you all saw in selecting those guys, and how Peter's been working for you thus far?
Well, Peter's coming along really well. The thing, once again, the intelligence quotient is so big at this level, and he's picking up things very fast. And there's a lot of things going on out there, you know, so number one, I'm very impressed with his intelligence. He comes from a system where they played a lot of pro-style type of stuff. But like I used to tell my guys at Fresno, we ran a pro-style offense. It's the same thing. We're in basic math. We're now in trig, you know. So, but if you have the basic math, at least it's easier to build on than if you've never seen some of this stuff. So he has a great base and was taught very well as far as fundamentals go in Wisconsin.
Now, you said 39 years. There's a big difference in how much contact, how much one-on-one, how much drills, how much live hitting.
Yeah,
close to live hitting.
Yeah, there's a lot less of that. So we do have some time to work on technique, you know, and then, but you know, technique works great, but you know, getting it live, we'll get it live when camp starts. So right now we're working on footwork and fundamentals, but you know, it's like any other sport. As soon as it goes live, it's very easy for those fundamentals to fall off. You got to have great confidence in what you're doing. If you have confidence in your technique, it's easy to build on. But you know, not right now. We got to develop that confidence and an understanding of what we're supposed to be doing. And then when you watch the film, if a young man can correct himself, at least you're getting through to him. But you know, it's like anything else. The fundamentals of this game, from my first year to now, we're still teaching the same things. We're still talking the same words. You know, don't step in the bucket, don't cross over, don't do this, don't do that. At this level, the percentages of the mistakes are a lot lower.
And the analogy in boxing is that everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. I mean, it's kind of the same for an offensive line.
Well, you know, that's something that I'm very familiar with, is that sport. So when you get punched in the face, first thing you want to do is drop your left and throw your right, and then you get hit again. So what you got to be able to do is you got to be able to step away, shake it off, and get back to your fundamentals.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach.